Okay, so today we're going to look at multiplying and dividing fractions. You should have this sheet. Let's go ahead and in our composition book. If you didn't have this glued yet, hopefully you did it in class today. But go ahead and in your table of contents, page 3-4 is going to be multiply and divide fractions. And our date today is the 23rd. All right, so you can put your composition book off to the side. Our notes are going to be out of this. So when we multiply and divide fractions, we do not need to get common denominators here. That's an important thing. We can, however, cross-cancel, and we can go over this more in class if you're not familiar with this. Cross-canceling is really nice when we multiply and divide. I'll show you that in a second. Then you're going to multiply just straight across. Multiply the numerator by the numerator and multiply the denominator by the denominator. Multiplying fractions are usually the simplest of all of them. Then, just like all the others, simplify if possible. So let's look at cross-canceling. It's always good to simplify these before you start multiplying. So cross-canceling, you look diagonally. So 3 and 15, they can both be divided by 3. So we're going to do that. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We're going to cross that off, make that a 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. We're going to cross that off, make it a 5. It's called cross-cancel because we're simplifying diagonally. Same with 6 and 4. They can both be divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. If you can keep it like this and understand that the fractions are now 1/2 and 3/5, that's fine. If not, you can rewrite that under and say now it's 1/5, 1/2, and 3/5. This will save you the hassle of having to simplify at the end. You don't have to cross-cancel. You can just multiply across how they were originally, but it might take more time to simplify at the end. So then just multiply straight across. And when you do that, 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10, and since we did that cross-canceling, we don't need to simplify. It's already in our lowest terms, 3/10. So now if we look at dividing. Dividing, same thing, we do not get common denominators. There's a few phrases you might like. I like keep, change, flip. Then multiply. So just like we saw before, cross-cancel if possible. Then just multiply the numerator by the numerator and multiply denominator by denominator. And then again, you're just going to simplify if possible. All right, so first thing we have to do, keep, change, flip. We have to do this before we cross-cancel, if you choose to cross-cancel. So we're going to keep the first one as 3/8. We're going to change our division to multiplication and flip the second fraction, or take the reciprocal, if you remember that word. Now we can go on. So I'm going to cross-cancel for this one again. 3 and 9 can both be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Sorry, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Apologize for that. And then 12 and 8, they can both be divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. I'm going to rewrite it so it's a little bit neater. Take the 1 and the 2, so it's 1/2. And then this, 3/3, which, if you can see right away, you know that 3/3 will be 1. Or you can just keep it as 3/3. But if you know 3/3 is 1, you know it's just 1/2 times 1. So your answer will be 1/2, but we'll still just go ahead and do it normally. So we get 3/6. And we can simplify 3/6 after we multiply top and bottom. Divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And you get that 1/2. All right, so now let's take a look at multiplying and dividing with mixed numbers. Unlike addition and subtraction, you need to change these to improper fractions. But again, do not get common denominators. It is a waste of your time to try to get common denominators, and then you have to do more simplifying at the end. But you do have to change it to an improper fraction. That's important. You have to do this when you multiply. Then, just like before, cross cancel if possible. Then you're going to multiply the numerator by the numerator and multiply the denominator by the denominator. And then simplify if possible. So let's try this. First, change these to improper fractions. If you remember how to do that, it's the whole number times the denominator plus the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14. And then you just keep the denominator. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. 3 times 7, 21, plus 4 is 25. That's our new numerator, and we keep the same denominator, 7. We've done our multiplication. Let's cross cancel. 14 and 7 can both be divided by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 5 and 25 can both be divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So now we have 2 over 1 times 5 over 1. We can just multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. And we know 10, anything over 1 is just itself, so we can write our final answer as just 10. Division, very similar. Again, do not get common denominators. You have to change to improper fractions. And just like our division from before, we keep, change, then flip. Then we multiply. As we multiply, or before we multiply, we can cross cancel if possible. And then we're going to simplify. So as long as you know how to multiply fractions, you should be able to divide. You just keep, change, flip, and then multiply. But you do have to, again, change to improper fractions first. The very first thing you do. Multiply a whole number by the denominator, add the numerator. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2, 14, keep the same denominator. I'm just going to keep it how it is. If you can keep, change, flip, and change to improper fractions all in one step, go for it. I would be careful doing that and just do it one step at a time. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 4 is 22, so now we have 22 over 9. Now we can go ahead and keep, change, flip. Keep the first one, change the next one to multiplication, and then flip 22 over 9 to 9 over 22. Again, you can multiply straight across, but 14 times 9 is going to be a large number. That's why I like cross canceling. Okay, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. So 3 and 9 can both be divided by 3. 3 times divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 14 and 22 can both be divided by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 22 divided by 2 is 11. Again, rewrite it. So 7 over 1, those are our new numbers, times 3 over 11. The new numbers that you wrote. Multiply straight across. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 11 is 11. It's improper. Part of simplifying is converting it to a mixed number. So just like we saw before, we just want to divide. 11 goes into 21 just once. 11 times 1 gives us 11, and then 10 left over. So it goes in one whole time, so that's our whole number. So we get 1, and there's 10 is our remainder, that's our numerator. Denominator stays the same. We get 1 and 10 11ths. So what I'm going to have you do, you have our notes, just like before. Fold it, cut it. So it's going to go on page 4. And then you can glue that if you have glue, or wait until you get to class. But what I want you to do on page 3, I'm going to give you 2 examples, and I want you to try these. So our examples are going to go ahead and be 2/5 times 3/8. You can go ahead and write these on page 3. And then I'm going to say you try. That's it. Y. So go ahead and try that one. And then also try 5 8/9 divided by 2 4/7. Go ahead and try those two. Now looking at the answers to these two, the first one, if you wanted to cross cancel, 2 goes into 2 once, 8 goes into 2 4 times. So then we get 1/5 times 3/4. We can just multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20. So we should get 3/20 for the first one. The second one, remember we need to turn them into mixed numbers. So 5, or improper fractions, sorry. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 8 gives us 53. Keep the same denominator. Divided by 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 4 gives us 18. Divided by 18 over 7. We're dividing, so remember we need to change flips. So we're going to keep 53 over 9 times, and then flip the other fraction to 7 over 18. Now these are some large numbers, so we would want to try to cross cancel. It might seem like we can't, and that's because it doesn't look like we can. So when we